Well, who would have thought that in the 21st century, fanny packs / waist packs would be making a comeback, and that even myself would begin to see more and more value, not only when I'm on the trail hiking and backpacking and doing multi-day adventures in the backcountry, but also just going to the office or running over to the supermarket to pick up some groceries. The need for a waist pack or a smaller pouch to be able to carry not only some small supplies, maybe a compact med kit, but also your CCW firearm would become such a necessity and a value point for me and my family. And so today we're going to take a look at Vanquest's offering in the fanny pack waist pack world in their Dendrite small and large options. And we'll also discuss competitive options in the waist pack arena, but also talk about how it compares to carrying particularly supplies or gear in the backcountry with a chest rig. So I hope you'll stick with me as we see how retro fanny packs have now transformed into reliable gear options here in the 21st century. Well, that's right, folks. Welcome back to another video. We're gonna have some fun today, because honestly, if you were to tell me 10 years ago that you're gonna be using a waist pack, let's get real, a fanny pack, pretty consistently in 2020, I'd be like, wrong. I'm not gonna be doing that. But more and more so, not only when I go out on outdoor adventures, you know, I'm backpacking, I'm hiking, we've done a couple car camping trips with the family, that this has become a very important and useful item, both for me and my wife. We've gone traveling to go see her family, and so done airline travel. This was very valuable during that whole experience, and how it also has become a necessity also when we're just going out on walks, when we're going over to the store to grab groceries, you know, whatever it may be. Because in early 2020, with all the craziness that we've been dealing with, my wife and I began to use this Helikon Bandicoot on a regular basis, particularly my wife when she would go on walks, maybe she would go to the store, you know, just to carry her CCW. And so when I saw that Vanquest in 2020 was releasing an urban line and waist packs were in the rotation that they were offering, I reached out to him. I said, guys, we're starting to use and see some value in waist packs more than ever before. Would you be willing to send the sizes over to us? They were willing to do so. So we've now had about months of heavy use with these waist packs, and I just want to share with you what we've discovered, what we like about them, maybe if there are any drawbacks to the design, but also put them head to head against chest rigs like my 511 amp chest rig that I use out oftentimes in the backcountry, and other fanny packs and waist packs that are out there like the Helikon, and how it all compares and how these stack up. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get to it, see what these have to offer. Okay, guys, so we'll look at how these lay out more for firearm carry first, and then we'll talk a little bit about just kind of everyday carry layout and go in a little bit more detail. But when it comes to carrying firearms, and I have cleared both of these, I have my Glock 19 in the large, and that's really where a mid-size or a compact would fit better. The Glock 19 still has a little bit of room to spare, so depending on, maybe, I'm not sure if a Glock 19 would work, but this will easily be able to handle this. This is usually what I would carry when I'm hiking and backpacking, those type of things. And I like how the organization that we're about to look at in a minute can kind of fold out of the way and doesn't become cumbersome, but can still steady a spare magazine. So that's a really good feature that I really like. You got your hook and loop wall back here. You will have to purchase separately a holster attachment, you know, with the nylon backer. Those are about $10. I wish it had come with one that you could mount wherever you want, but that is something. So that's with the large. And these zippers are YKK zippers. They run really well. They do have a luggage lock loop, so if you maybe were carrying it on your person and then you're in the car, you just don't want other people having access to it, maybe kids, whatever, you could throw a little lock on it and then they won't have access to it. So I like that. It's pretty easy to grab. Obviously not as fast if it's in your waistband or something like that, but as an off body, if you will, carry, it's pretty easy to deploy. And then on the smaller version, you're going to have to do subcompact or even pocket size pistols. This one has the Shield Smith & Wesson in there, 9mm, and so it does just barely fit. We can get it to fit. It's without any issue, and it's not like causing any, you know, catching problems, but that's like the biggest size. So really it's going to be like 9mm, 380s, stuff like that. That's really on the subcompact size will fit in here. And again, the elastic will hold a spare mag. Again, you'll have to buy a separate holster attachment there, but it will be able to carry those compacts, and this is the firearm that my wife carries, so it fits perfectly for her, just getting the job done in size. Now outside of that, these are again going to be identical in layout, just smaller diameter and sizing basically. So on the front here, you're going to have a zipper, YKK. Inside there is just a big high-vis pocket. When I'm out hiking, I'll throw my compass and a few other small items in there. It does have a loop attachment with a key keeper, but the key keeper can be disconnected and then put on either of these two back here in the main body. So that's a nice little added feature. When we were traveling through the airport, I was able to put like my wallet and cell phone in here, so I had quick access to them, and I wasn't fumbling through pockets and those type of things. And then the main compartment has that see-through mesh and then fleece on one side, so you can throw sunglasses, those type of things. This is definitely large enough for, I would argue, almost any size cell phone on the market, and so that's a nice thing. And then you do have these two, not only stuff pockets right here, but then you have these elastic bands, again, that we were running the mags through, but that you can obviously do other things, and then just that fleece main pocket. You could put another Velcro organizer in here if you're doing it more, not carrying a firearm, but just other stuff, that you want to have. Again, those paracord loops, and then a final pocket back here that's high vis that you could put, maybe you don't want your wallet and your cell phone out further, you want it up against your body, maybe your passport, something like that. That has that feature in there as well. And the small is just going to have the exact same loadout, just in a smaller size range, obviously. Now, when it comes to the carrying capability, they've also designed this with plenty of real estate on the strap that you could easily carry. This is like a little sling bag or over your chest if you wanted to carry it that way. I know certain people do that. So you can mount this in different ways. It's not like it's just long enough for your waist, so there's plenty of real estate on these straps. This is definitely like a seatbelt quality level strap. It's nice and wide, and then you do have a secondary adjustment piece as well as a Velcro keeper, so you don't have all this excess flopping all over the place. So that's a really good thing, and that's something that I did notice in comparison to the helikon. The helikon is a much thinner strap right here, and doesn't have as much adjustability. The Vanquest definitely have more adjustability in that case. Now, you can completely remove this helikon strap, and you can also do the same here. You can unfeed basically on both sides here, and then completely remove the strap if you just want to use it as maybe an organizer pouch for a little while, and or if you don't want the strap and you want to be able to have it even closer to your body, they have attached these nylon pass-throughs right here, so you could feed it over some waist belts of backpacks, and you could put it just on your daily belt that you wear, and then it becomes even kind of a slimmer profile. So that's a really nice feature. I really like that. Again, the helikon will have more of like a pass-through. It doesn't have the straps. You have to pass it through here. There is more real estate, particularly on the larger one, that you can get, even do backpacking level backpacks if you wish to do that. Going back to the strap real quick, just want to show you very good deflex clips here, as we know from Vanquest. Really dig that aspect a lot. So removable belt straps, be able to carry it over your shoulder if you wish, and pass-through capability if you want to do that with these nylon straps. Gives you a lot of versatility in carrying options. So as I said earlier, we're going to talk about not only the helikon a little bit more in detail compared to these, because I have been using this for quite a while, and I did my initial fanny pack video. This kind of got me back into fanny packs maybe a year or two ago. This will be a little bit cheaper. It does have good quality material. It does have definitely more of a tactical feel because of this giant Velcro look here, versus particularly if you go with like the Midnight or the Gray with these. I mean, this looks like standard anything. This Velcro area, though, awesome if you are using it more outdoors and those type of things. Around town, my wife particularly didn't really like carrying this because it definitely screams tactical. You will have just a main dump pocket. Look at that. I've been looking for this for freaking 3 weeks. There it is. Mesh pocket, very similar, but it won't have fleece, and then no dividers. It does come with a little divider Velcro pouch here, but when you do that, then you lose you lose the ability to carry a firearm. So it's a give and take, whereas with the Vanquest, you don't have to do that. You can have those elastic bands there to still steady magazines or other equipment, and you can still put the firearm behind that. So that's just something to note. You do get a very similar, pocket on the back there. And then again, going to this belt strap here, though doable, the Vanquest one is way more adjustable and better load bearing, particularly with like a firearm in there, which is much heavier than this. So it doesn't cut into your body as much, and just has a better cinching down and tightening capability. The helikon tends to kind of loosen up a little bit, just the way of its design. But the materials are good. It is definitely a little bit cheaper compared to the Vanquest ones, but that's why you don't get quite all the features. And then with my amp chest rig, you guys have seen this. I wore it almost all winter long. Loved using it, love carrying it, will continue to use it, but I basically decided that this is going to be kind of more like my winter use loadout, when I have jackets and rolls near the bottom of my pants, you know, where your jacket tends to bundle up, and then it makes fanny pack more difficult to access. This makes it way more easy to access. I can carry a larger firearm in the wintertime because that's just what I tend to do, and I can also lash some other gear items. Or if I'm doing like a full-on bushcraft day, you know, where I'm like, we're going to be working with blades and tools, and I want my firearm and I want, you know, a couple other items on my body at all times, that's where the chest rig really comes into play. So you'll see the fanny pack, particularly when I am hiking and doing outdoor adventures, you'll see it more in the summertime, less in the winter, and you'll see the chest rig more in the winter and not very often in the summer. That's kind of where I've landed with these two options. Now, Vanquest did send both of these over to me for my wife and I to be able to test, use, review, take on trips, to give you guys feedback, data, pros and cons for each of the designs. They have those 3 color combinations that you can choose from. For the pricing, you're going to look at about just over 50 bucks, like $52 on GPKNIVES is where you can pick these up, or the Vanquest website. Between like 50 and 55 bucks for the large, and I believe between 40 and $45 for the small. So definitely like 50 bucks or less on average kind of is what you're going to be looking at, and definitely has a loadout, quality capability, you know, those type of things that are definitely on the higher end of waist packs that I've ever seen, and can either be carried great for everyday carry use and not really carrying a firearm, or putting a firearm in there and still having a lot of other capabilities as well. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that this video has been fun, entertaining, but also giving you the data that you need with these waist packs on whether or not they're the right gear item for you, if you see value in them or not, if you're maybe more of a chest rig guy and you're just looking for something that's for the backcountry, or maybe there's just other options and these fanny packs just don't quite hit the mark for you, or you're like, dude, I agree with you, these things are bomb, because these things are bomb and basically have become the regular rotation, particularly in the summertime when I'm out in the backcountry, hiking and camping and backpacking, and as a great option to carry some of those vital necessities around town, to carry them to and from the vehicle and different things like that for both me and my wife. So guys, thank you so much for coming over today. I look forward to reading the comments and hearing the discussion below. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not a current subscriber, as well as check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media, throwing up stuff there all the time. And finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.